Hey, what is going on, you guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a stock screener in Google Sheets just like the one you see here. And this screener is a project I had been working on for a while, and you can see it's tracking things like our business metrics, dividend data, moving averages, the current price, we have a chart, 1 year return, 2 year return, and a lot of other metrics for stocks as well. The best thing about this is it's a completely automated spreadsheet. So let's say instead of Microsoft we wanted to see Apple, we'll just type in their stock ticker and hit enter. And you can see all of this data will update automatically. So this is a really powerful tool. We can also change our chart. It's currently a 365-day chart. We can just type in 500 and we can automatically get a 500-day chart. So this is a really phenomenal tool. I use it a lot when analyzing my stocks. So I'm going to show you how to create this in Google Sheets. If you'd like to be able to download this stock screener or any of my other portfolio or investment trackers in Google Sheets, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so I have a new Google spreadsheet open, and I'm just going to come up here to the top and we're going to title this stock screener. And let's go ahead and zoom out to about 75. Okay, I jumped forward just a little bit. All I did was a little bit of formatting, you can see right here. But the first formula we're going to use is we're going to come right here and we're going to do equals and type out Google Finance, select target, come out here, and we're just going to type out name because we want the name of the company to show up right here, and hit enter. And you can see using the Google Finance function, we now have the name of whatever stock is listed above us. So now let's come down here to the bottom and we're going to start working on our chart. And in order to do this, we're going to type out what kind of chart this is. So I'm going to type out the number of days and then type out days change. And I'm just going to do some formatting here. We'll center the text. But if we come here to format and go to number, go to custom number format, you can see right here, it's something I recently used, but if we type out the number and then in quotation type out days change and hit apply, this is actually going to help us make our chart, and I'll show you why in just a second. But if I delete this, type out a random number of days, you can see it's showing up here, but it's still saying days change as well. So now we can change the numbers here and the words will still show up. So now we're ready to start building out this chart. And for this chart, we're going to do the equals SPARKLINE. And we're going to have to use an index function, and we're also going to use Google Finance. And essentially, to build out this chart, we're going to need the chart, the price of the company at a certain point in time all the way up to today. And we can pull the certain price of this company using Google Finance functions and type out today and then subtract the number of days that we want to go back. And I'll try to have some of the more complicated formulas posted in the description or in the comments below, so you can just copy and paste them if you end up struggling. But essentially on the back part of this formula, I'm just going to do some formatting and tell Google Sheets how I want this chart to look. So I'm indicating to Google Sheets I want it to be a column chart and what color I want it to be as well. And I'll come up here and add some quotations to fix this here. And okay, let's see what our problem was. And it looks like I need to add parentheses right here. We'll try that and hit enter. It takes just a second at first. And okay, it looks like our chart has come in. So it looks like we put our formula in. So let's go ahead and change the number of days here and see if it works. And okay, so it looks like our chart is currently functioning properly. Okay, so I jumped forward again and just did some formatting. We have our business metrics, dividend data, and moving averages. But now for all of this data, we're actually going to web scrape this from a website called Finviz.com. And I've gone over web scraping in Google Sheets before, so check out that video here. I'll post the link in the description, but essentially we're going to type out target on finviz.com and hit enter. And if I scroll down right here, you can see we have a lot of data listed on this company. And this is what we're going to try to web scrape into our Google spreadsheet. So essentially, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the formula for this first one in. And I'll post this in the description, but you can see we want our ROA. So let's see, where is that? And okay, so right here, this is what we want to web scrape into our spreadsheet. And so I'm just going to come over here and I'll have this posted in the description, but I'm going to paste in this formula that I use. But you can see it is showing what the ROA for the company is right here. And using this same function, we can web scrape a lot of different data into Google Sheets. So I'll just do some formatting. But the great thing about this formula is, in order to pull different types of metrics into Google Sheets, the only thing we need to change are these numbers listed right here. So essentially, just by changing those numbers, we can pull in something like our dividend. So let's go over how to pull that in now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this exact same formula, and I'll paste it right here. And you'll see it's still showing our return on assets, but we can get it to where it automatically shows the dividends. So we'll jump back over to Finviz, and we want to pull dividends listed right there. So we'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 1, 2. So we went down 7 and went to the right 2. So what we'll do is we'll come here to the formula and we'll put those numbers in right here. And when I hit enter, you can see we now have the amount paid out in dividends. And it looks like it is showing up correctly. So essentially, I'm just going to use that exact same formula and change those numbers there to pull all of these different metrics into my spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to jump forward in the video. Take your time, pause the video if you need to. And okay, so I've used that exact same function just by changing the numbers to pull in all of these different metrics. So you can see that's a really powerful way to have some really phenomenal spreadsheets in Google Sheets. And again, all I had to do was change these numbers that are listed right here in order to do that. And you can see just how similar all these formulas look. So now we're ready to try to pull in our dividend yield, but in order to do that, we're actually going to use the Google Finance function to pull in the current price of the company. So I'm going to type out Google Finance, we'll click on target, we'll close this out. Now we have the current price of the company listed up there. Using this, we can pull in our dividend yield. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do equals, we'll take our dividend divided by our current price and hit enter. And you can see we now have the dividend yield for this company. Now I'm going to go ahead and get our 1-year return. So this is another larger formula that I've come up with. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste it in. But you can see right here, essentially we're just taking the price at a certain point in time and taking the price at another certain point in time and using it to find the 1-year return. So to find the 2-year return, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this formula over and paste it here. And if we just come up here and format the number of days that we go back, we can make it a 2-year return. Again, I'll have this formula posted in the description. So let's go ahead and do some formatting just to make it look correct. And you can see as I'm doing this, our spreadsheet's really starting to come along. We just have a few more steps to go. And I'll increase the font size here. And okay, so I've jumped forward again and I've gone ahead and done some formatting and listed all the other metrics that we want to pull into our spreadsheet. So for a lot of these, we're just going to go ahead and use the Google Finance function. Relatively simple. Type out Google Finance, click on our stock, and then we're going to type out market cap to pull in our market cap. I hit enter, and now we have the market cap for the stock listed. Now we want to see our price to earnings. So we're going to type out equals Google Finance. We'll click on our stock up here, type out PE in quotations and close it out and hit enter. We're going to do the same thing for our earnings per share. So as you can see, the Google Finance function is a really great tool for Google spreadsheets as well. Now we want to pull in our days change. So for this, again, Google Finance, we'll pick target, and we're going to type out in quotations change PCT, which stands for percent. And we'll close this off, but we're going to make it a percentage, so we're actually going to divide it by 100 as well. And let's go ahead and change the color. So now we have this, click on percent. So now we can see our days change as a percentage. Let's go ahead and do the same thing, but we want to see it as a dollar amount this time. So all we need to type out is in quotations change. Now we want to see our 52-week high and 52-week low. Again, we'll use the Google Finance function for this. We'll type out 52-week high. And we'll do the same thing for our 52-week low. And now we have all of that data. So now we're ready to try to pull industry into Google Sheets. And to do this, we're actually not going to use the Google Finance function. We're going to web scrape this from a website called Fidelity Research. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to type out target and we'll hit go. And I have target pulled up, so let's scroll down. And down here, closer to the bottom, you can see right here, this is what we want to web scrape into Google Sheets. So let's jump back over to our spreadsheet. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste the formula that I use for this in, and I'll have this posted in the description as well. And okay, so you can see we now have the industry pulled into Google Sheets. If you'd like to know how I do this, again, I have a video on how to web scrape in Google Sheets, and I also have videos on how to pull industry into Google Sheets. But okay, back down here, we're going to go back to our Google Finance function to pull in the beta of the stock. We'll type out beta, and we'll close this off. Let's see if I can fix this problem I have. And I'll hit enter, and now we have the beta of target. So now we want to pull in all these metrics right here. Let's go ahead and get this one in. We'll use our Google Finance function. We'll just type out volume. And okay, so now for all these other metrics listed here, I'm going to go back and use that exact same Finviz formula. So I'm going to jump forward and do that now. Okay, so I use that same formula from pulling the data from Finviz, and I just changed the numbers like we did earlier. So now all we need to do left is add some conditional formatting here. So I'm going to select this. We'll come up here to click on format. We'll scroll down to conditional formatting. And I want to say anything that is greater than 0, I want to show up in green text. And we'll say anything that is less than 0, I want the text to show up red. And we'll click on done. So now we have some conditional formatting added to our spreadsheet. It'll just make some of the numbers stand out. So let's go ahead and test it out. I'll type out Apple. And when I hit enter, you can see all these metrics updated automatically, including our chart. So it looks like our spreadsheet is working correctly. Let's go ahead and try Microsoft and hit enter. And everything updated automatically once again. So you can see just how scalable and powerful this spreadsheet is. One more thing we can do is if we go back to conditional formatting, we can select empty cells, and this way we can color in any of the empty cells however we want. So if you wanted to color everything in gray, you could do it just like I did just then. And we can also go to view, and we can remove the grid lines as well if we want to. It's just really your preference for what you think looks best. So there you have it. That's how you build a completely automated stock screener in Google Sheets. I really hope this video helped you out a lot. If you'd like to be able to download this stock screener or any of my other portfolio trackers in Google Sheets, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.